Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Quisha King Show. So today we are talking about the new lie that Kamala and her abortion freaks are spreading about this one story. And also, we're going to continue with our feminism series, so we'll be ending on part 3. And of course, we have Kami of the Week. So all that and more coming up today on the Quisha King Show. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching and tuning in and bearing with me as I get through this wedding, y'all. It has been quite a lot going on, but thank you for sticking with me and sharing the show and liking and commenting, participating, and being a part of this show. I really do appreciate it. Go ahead and smack that like button, share this video out. Make sure you subscribe if you are not subscribed, because I can see that a lot of you are watching the show and you're not subscribed, okay? So I know that you like the show. So just go ahead and subscribe. What is it gonna hurt? Go ahead. It's good stuff. All right, so let's get into the first story here. So I talked about this the previous show. And, you know, you've heard the story about Amber Thurman and what this lie that Kamala and all these crazy leftists are spreading about this story with this woman who unfortunately lost her life after she took the abortion pill. But I found this clip I want to show you of Kristen Hawkins, who is a pro-life activist, who further debunks and breaks down this lie that the left is spreading. This is SOT 1.
So today, Kamala Harris put out a statement about the 28-year-old Georgia woman who was a single mom who died after reportedly taking chemical abortion pills with her twins, blaming the pro-life movement, and actually said Trump's abortion bans are preventing doctors for providing basic medical care. They are literally trying to blame the death of 3 people on the pro-life movement because a mother chose to take abortion pills, and the abortion industry sent her on her way with no care. If you want to point the blame, Kamala Harris, look in the mirror, sweetie, because it was the Biden-Harris FDA in December of 2021, which got rid of all the regulations, the risk evaluation mitigation strategies, REMS, on chemical abortions that the Clinton administration, Bush, Obama, and Trump administrations all upheld. One of which says a woman must have an ultrasound before the abortion, chemical abortion, and after to prevent sepsis, to make sure that all the contents of the uterus, the child, the placental tissue, all of those things are removed from her uterus so she doesn't become septic and die, which is what exactly happened in this case. We don't have all the details, but I can tell you right now, those standards that were removed from the Biden-Harris administration could have prevented this young mother's death after she chose abortion. We know from the Charlotte Lozier Institute that if you have a chemical abortion, you're 50% more likely than a surgical abortion to end up in the ER.
There you have it. The more we find out about this story, Amber Thurman, the more we understand that this is not she did not lose her life, and those children did not lose their life because Roe v. Wade was overturned. And I mean, just twins, okay? You know, this idea that we can pop a pill and end life is absurd. And Biden and Kamala Harris's own, it is their laws and legislation, or lack of legislation, that is the cause, or at least one of the causes of Amber losing and those babies losing their life, because they could, the legislation that was removed by the Biden-Harris administration would have required her to have an ultrasound. So to make sure that all of the body parts, I mean, this is gruesome stuff. I mean, it is. But we don't like to talk about it because it makes it too real for us. But making sure that all of the parts were taken out, and so she would not go into sepsis. So do not believe this lie that, oh, this is because of Roe v. Wade. No. Young women, you need to understand. your actions, they're playing with you. They're playing with you and trying to sell you fear and a lie, thinking that you can pop a pill to end life. Just like, oh, I'm going to pop a pill and remove, my headache or whatever. This is a bit more serious. Don't believe something so egregious as, oh, I can pop a pill and everything's going to be fine. These pills, these medical abortion, chemical abortion treatments are very dangerous. The FDA has said that they are dangerous. They are very dangerous for women who are thinking that they can just take this medicine in life, in this Amber's case, 2 lives, and think that everything is going to be fine. That it's just not the case. So be wise. Be wise in what you're doing with your body. You always, we hear it all the time. My body, my choice. Well, be wise what you do with your body. God sets things up in a way because, so you can avoid the heartache and pain or losing your life that the enemy, the world, the left, and none of these people care. None of these people care if you or are bleeding out and going to the doctor and complaining about sepsis and eventually losing your life. They don't care. They just want the abortion and the lengths that they are willing to go to so that you are uninformed, so that you are naive, so that you are just fearful. The lengths that they will go to continue to lie is there are no boundaries. They don't have a parameter. So they will go as far as you let them. So just be mindful that you may not be getting the truth. You may not be getting the truth. And so that can go into a whole another conversation. Maybe we'll talk about that more in depth of the pharmaceutical industry and and all the collusion that's going on there. That's lying to a lot of people. I mean, you don't want to be one of those people that end up, you see a commercial flash across your screen. If you took this medication, then, you might need to call a lawyer. You don't want to be one of those people. So make sure that you're informed and not believing everything that they tell you because they don't have your best interest at heart. It's funny. And this story is very relevant to our series on feminism because it deals with witchcraft and the occult. Well, there was it's funny, but it's true. And it went completely viral where Trump said, they're eating the pets, they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs. They laughed, but what Trump said was right. And we'll talk a bit more about this. This is SOT 2.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country.
So you saw Kamala. What is he talking about? She probably, and this is just me being silly, but I don't know if Kamala Harris practices witchcraft or anything like that. I wouldn't be surprised if she does because she is quite wicked in my opinion. But we know that, well, whether you know it or not, Haitians do practice voodoo. They do, okay? It's part of their culture. And you might not want to believe it, but they do. Here is SOT 3, a man who's talking more about what's really happening.
Neighborhood crime alert for pet owners in the Springfield neighborhood after really a disturbing incident caught on camera. The owner of this cat tells News4Jax Ashy was attacked and killed on her front steps and then taken Saturday night. This happened on Red Wing Street near Maine. This comes as Springfield neighbors say several cats have gone missing recently. News4Jax reporter Eric Avanier spoke to one witness, and we want to warn you, the details are disturbing.
Multiple incidents of in and outdoor cats coming up missing have one thing in common. They're disappearing overnight. A neighbor who witnessed the latest incident says he pulled out his cell phone and recorded something he could not believe. Saturday night around 11, a suspect described as a skinny man believed to be in his mid to early 30s with a thin mustache wearing all black clothing and black boots was seen attacking a family's cat named Ashy. Carlos Spencer witnessed the incident while sitting in his car across the street. He says Ashy was sitting on her owner's front steps when the man first walked past the home and placed a white tarp on the ground.
And he came back and started coaxing the cat, like, you know, communicating with the cat. And once he put his hand up, he just grabbed it, quickly took it down, walked it over here, and just kneeled on top of it.
Spencer says that's when he took out his cell phone and started recording video of the man attacking the cat.
I was able to film him bound the cat some kind of way and put it in a plastic tarp and walk.
So, I'm sorry, so that was one story of where we are seeing cats and pets just be taken. And actually, my fiance, his children saw a man take a duck, break the duck's neck, and just walk away. And the children are like traumatized because that's not something that we're accustomed to in America. We're just not. The next clip I'm going to show you is a man who's actually talking about the practice of witchcraft and Haitians. But this is a real thing, you guys. I mean, don't be surprised when you open your borders up in your country wide open, where people of all different nations and cultures and spiritual practices are doing things in your city or town that's not common to what you are accustomed to. These people are not being assimilated to American culture. How can you assimilate 14 million people in 3 years? You can't. It is impossible. So you're probably going to see even more things happening. That was in Florida. But again, witchcraft and Haitians, Africans, is some parts of on the continent of Africa, they practice voodoo, okay? Like, it's just a real thing. This shot 4 is a man who's explaining how Haitians practice witchcraft.
Listen, I am not Haitian, but I am from the Caribbean. The Haitian immigrants are indeed eating animals. Let me tell you something about these people. Not only are they harvesting cats for food, but also for witchcraft purposes, voodoo purposes. Understand this. If you don't want to take my word for it, go out there, meet a Haitian, talk to them about it. This is not something they aren't proud of. It's their culture. They eat these animals and they use the blood and bones of these animals for voodoo and witchcraft purposes. This is not a joke. The fact that they are here illegally, Kamala did say she gave them a temporary protection, over 100,000 of them. But here's the thing, for good luck purposes, they will harvest cats. They will use the blood and the bone of these cats. They consume these things because they believe it brings good luck and good juju. This is not a joke. It's a fact. This is their culture. This is what they believe. They will die on a hill on this belief. Like I said, meet a Haitian, talk to them about it. This is not something I'm guessing. This is something I am telling you. I've had conversation with these people. I know of plenty of these people who, in Jamaica, where I am from, they have a great relationship with wrongdoers in Jamaica. These people they trade good, well, not mine, but our Jamaican good ganja for weed, for cocaina, and for pew-pews. And every single move they make, they perform their rituals, which they believe after these rituals, they will not get touched, they will not get caught by the police or by law enforcement, Coast Guard, the military, whatever. They have very well success rate when it comes to traveling by boat across the Jamaican-Haitian border. They do this damn near weekly. Like I said, this is not speculations from me. This is a fact. I am telling you, I know these people. I know what I'm talking about. I could even go into more details of the things they do when it comes to their rituals based off of stories that I've heard from them directly. But due to the sensitivity of TikTok, I'll leave that alone. But understand this, those ducks / geese / dogs / cats, they are going missing. They are eating them. They are harvesting their blood for witchcraft and voodoo purposes. I'm not capping. Do not come on here, white liberals and black liberals. Do not come on here and tell me that I'm capping or I'm talking bullshit or I don't know what I'm saying. This is stuff I personally have spoke with these people about, okay? This is pure knowledge. This is not speculations. And give it time, it will end up on your doorsteps. This is their culture, this is their belief, this is what they do regardless. Fresh out of Haiti, they're not Americanized. They are gonna practice what they know, hands down. And this is something, like I said, they are proud of, okay? So you can locate one of them and talk to them yourself. And if an Americanized Haitian want to get up on under my comments and try to deny any of this, before you do that, talk to your meme and your grandma and your grandpepe who's been born and raised in Haiti, who know about this stuff, before you come and try to challenge me on anything, okay? I'm spitting facts, point blank, period, no question, okay? And like I always say, Trump Vance, I was choking on that one, too much truth, but Trump Vance 24, baby.
Well, there you go. I used to live in Miami, and you know, that was a big place where a lot of cocaine and stuff was being sold. And I've heard the stories of how when some of these Haitian coke dealers would go to trial, not just Haitians, Colombians, Cubans, they would put certain, you know, blood and chicken bones and stuff outside of the courthouse. This is a real thing. But if you think about it, you know, the Bible tells us that the life is in the blood. And what did we need to cleanse us from our sins? It was the blood of Christ shed for our sins, because the wages of sin is death. There has to be there has to be a sacrifice. That is a holy sacrifice. And so what does the devil do? The devil takes something that is true and perverts it. So they'll take chickens and cats and dogs. They want the blood sacrifice. This is a real thing, people. Get out of your feelings. Go read about what everybody does not practice Christianity, even a warm version of Christianity. There are cultures out there who this is their religion. The African spiritualism, the Santeria stuff, all of this, these are witchcraft, occult practices. It is real. And so, yes, it was, you know, funny when Donald Trump is, you know, because of the way he's giving the message, but what he was saying is actual facts. And so you can either realize the truth and understand, you better try to understand what these people are doing when they come into your neighborhoods and into your country, so you can know how to pray, because this is a spiritual battle. These people understand the spiritual world. They understand that if they shed blood, that that sacrifice, that they are expecting to get something in return. They understand that concept. They understand it. And so they don't understand that is going to, that the devil doesn't honor his word, and that these things are going to eventually ruin their lives and certainly their soul. but they do understand the concept. So instead of making fun, instead of just saying, oh no, that's not true, and you know, you guys are just racist, and you need to understand everybody, just because they are black or brown does not mean that they come from a good culture. Even in America, just because somebody is black or brown doesn't mean that they are, everything that they say is right and good and true. You have to try the spirit by the spirit. You have to, you better realize what you're fighting, what you're up against, so you can properly be prepared to fight against these things. So let's get into Gold Lush, everybody. GodsStuffBeauty.com. I have long talked about how I struggled with cystic acne. I did not know what to do. I tried everything on the market, all the popular stuff. None of that worked. I had to go back to get some good old-fashioned God stuff, some natural products. And so I turned that turned that solution into a product, and now we have Gold Lush. It is so great for your skin. It can help with your cystic acne, actually any type of acne. It helps with wrinkles, and it's a great anti-aging solution. It's rich in vitamins A, D, and K. It has literally changed my skin. I use it to even like spot treat pimples. Like if I see something coming up, just put it on there a little bit. It transformed my skin. I get stopped in the grocery store. I get stopped all the time of people complimenting me on my skin, and it's truly due to this product. So go and check it out, GodsStuffBeauty.com, free shipping and a 30-day money-back guarantee. It's no risk. You can't lose. And again, by conservatives, for conservatives. Spend your money with people with values that you care about. Don't spend it at Ulta if you're going for cleansing. Don't spend it at Sephora, because the things that they are for, you're not for. Spend it with people who care about the things that you care about. That is GodsStuffBeauty.com. We talked about feminism in part 2. We talked about how we read from Carrie Gresh and how these feminists were starting to collude and collide with the Marxists. And so that's kind of, we think that's where it picks up, and what's going on now from the 60s and 70s. As we went back further, we see that these practices, the occult practices and the witchcraft that has long been in practice with the rise of feminism. So let's continue with where we left off. So we were reading Carrie Gresh's article on There's Nothing New About Worshiping Abortion or Linking Feminism to Satan. And so she goes on to say in the last paragraph, Marxism, witchcraft, and abortion. Theosophy never quite went away and enjoyed a resurgence in the 1960s. Gloria Steinem's mother was an inherent prior to her own mental breakdown. Like I said before, the enemy does not just, you do these sacrifices and you practice this stuff. He wants something. And in this case, he wanted her mind. The 3 elements, the occult, free love, and smashing the patriarchy that underpinned first wave feminism were certainly not embraced by all suffragettes. They were, however, the concepts that kept the feminist movement afloat until the 1960s, when a more radical version took over. Feminism was influenced by the Bolsheviks, whose regime was the first to legalize abortion, then by the cultural Marxists of the Frankfurt School, which took it to the second wave. Second wave feminism continued Shelley's legacy. One of its most popular books was Robin Morgan's anthology, Sisterhood is Powerful. It was a kind of handbook for feminists working to raise their consciousness and throw off the patriarchy's shackles. Among its entries is the suggestion that the lesbian lifestyle is preferable because it naturally frees a woman from men and children. Okay, so do you see how this thing could be tied to abortion? Do you see how this could be why they would be pushing abortion as strongly as they do? When you see these clues in society, it should point you to feminism, the occult, and witchcraft. That should send your antennas up. Let's see. Among its entries is the suggestion that, the book also includes a section featuring Witch, the Women's International Terrorist Conspiracy from Hell. Okay? They literally tell you where they're from and the influence that is backing them, which suggests practicing witchcraft for female emancipation. The appendix includes spells for everyday use. The question the first wave feminists asked was, how do we help women? A noble effort. The problem is that they saw the life of men as the solution. Rather than helping women as women, they wanted to help women become men. No more fuss and mess of families, husbands, birth, and child raising. The goal was for women to become like men, or better, like gods, without the confines of bodies and human nature. For this to happen, women had to prevent or eliminate their children and live only with potential for human life, not actual human life. California's new church, the Church of Potential Life, fetishizes what Shelley and other first wave feminists dreamed of, now all too real for us. Listen, let me read that one more time. The goal was for women to become like men, or better, like gods. Remember in Genesis 3, we read the first part of feminism. God says to Eve that she will want to rule over her husband. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? That her want is not going to be to play her position as a woman, his helpmeet, that the Bible, that God instructs for us that's our role. But no, we're going to be like, we want to rule over him. And Carrie Gress here, I think she perfectly says it, that woman wants to become like God. What did the serpent say to Eve in the garden? That, thou shalt not surely die. God he just wants you. He doesn't want you to really know the truth. You're going to become like him. He just wants to keep that from you. This is exactly what we're seeing happening. When women are out of place, and I don't think that women have a lesser role in society. We have a very important role in society, but we need to embrace that role. Embrace it. Become the women that God has had for us to be. I guarantee you, when you embrace that role of being a helpmeet for your husband, being a mother to your children, the stress, the worry, all of those things that can cloud your mind. I truly believe that why we are seeing the uptick in cancer, why we are seeing the uptick in women's health issues, is because of the stress that we have put on ourselves. We are not trying to live up to the standard that has already been set for us. We don't have to go out and try to do all these things that men can do and try to be like men. We can just comfortably be the women that God has set out for us to be. And that, I think, it brings happiness. They always say, conservative women, we seem to be happier. Yeah, because we are more comfortable embracing our role. That's just a fact. And this last piece that I want to read for you that I found is called Marx. I got it from Marx200.org, and the title is Marxism and Feminism. It's a quick read. So it says, every feminist generation has had its own link to Marxism. While the first generation of feminism was already an international phenomenon, the link between Marxism and feminism has been especially evident in the United States, the UK, Australia, and Germany. And if I am not mistaken, those 4 countries have all embraced abortion. It goes back to the days of Marx, Engels, and the socialist labor movement, continued in the women's movement of the late 19th and early 20th century, then was renewed by the new generation of feminists associated with the second wave of feminism of the 1960s. The second wave of feminism engaged especially strongly with Marx and the history of Marxism, adopting elements of Marxism, distancing itself from others, supplementing Marxism, and criticizing it. The various debates about housework conducted during the 1970s were only a first step towards formulating a critique of the entire sphere of social and individual reproduction, of breaking with Marxism's fixation on certain areas of the economy and on wage labor and production. Pay attention to the words critique. Remember, critical race theory, critical gender theory, all of these critiques, critical critiques on these societal structures made way for critical race theory, this hyper focus on race, the feminism, the gender, all of these things, is it coming? It's coming together, all coalescing together in the 60s and 70s. Even the civil rights movement, okay? These are all communist movements. I know that's gonna bother you, but the truth is the truth. Let's see. This broadening of the perspective was groundbreaking and led to a fundamental shift that engagement with Marx benefited from in its entirety. Relations of production ought to be understood from the point of view of their social reproduction. Social reproduction concerns biological reproduction and its associated technologies and politics as much as gender relations. It is related to ideological reproduction as much as to issues of ecological reproduction and the natural and social resources. It concerns population policy as much as immigration. Feminism has thus brought an intersectionality to the critique of society, ensuring that the autonomy, but also the overlap between various forms of inequality and oppression is taken into account. But feminism has also undergone a process of differentiation and is now intersectionally active in both the realm of politics and in that of academia, particularly in the fields of gender and queer studies, migration, racism, and post-colonial studies. So you guys see, I wanted to do this series on feminism so you can see that that feminism, witchcraft, the occult, the civil rights movement, the gender stuff, the critical race theory, all of these things, all of these movements that started, they come from the occult. They don't really care about the issues that they're saying that they care about. They want a communist takeover, and they will use whomever, whatever to accomplish that goal. I'm going to put the links of these articles in the description box below so you guys can see and read further for yourselves. I hope that you go on a journey to learn about the history of these things that are being forced into society. They have been forced into society, and they're being forced onto your children. All right, so before we get into the commie of the week, let's talk about Sweetamine, okay? So, do you have any aches and pains? Chronic inflammation might be the culprit. Meet Sweetamine, the natural way to fight inflammation. Sweetamine is packed with the amino acid glycine, the same nutrient found in bone broth that helps regulate inflammation. Many of the diseases that we face today are rooted in glycine deficiency. Just one daily serving of Sweetamine provides 8 grams of glycine, enough to stop excess inflammation right where it starts. Most people feel pain reduction after just a few days. Perfect for a post-workout recovery. Sweetamine is all natural, contains no sugar or carbs, I love that, and only has 24 calories. It's ideal for diabetics too. Use it like sugar in your favorite drinks, smoothies, or sprinkled on cereal. Try our 12-day challenge trial pack for only $19.95 with free shipping, completely risk-free. And for a limited time, enter promo code KING, K-I-N-G, at checkout for a $5 discount. Order Sweetamine now at sweetamine.com or call 855-GET-SWEET. That is 855-438-7933. Live pain-free with Sweetamine and take the challenge today. All right, you guys. So we got to talk about the commie of the week. And, you know, this person has, it's like she's been trying to earn commie of the week, because she certainly did a great job on this one. This is SOT 6.
Responsible behaviors among everybody in the community, and just because you legally possess a gun in the sanctity of your locked home doesn't mean that we're not going to walk into that home and check to see if you're being responsible and safe in the way you conduct your affairs.
Have you heard from...
Did you hear that? That was Kamala Harris. It's a grainy video because it's from, you know, while she was, I believe she was AG when she was saying this. But this commie said, if your home is locked, that the state, the government, will walk into your house and check to see if you are being a responsible gun owner. Now, responsible doesn't mean it's kept out of reach of children. Their word responsible doesn't actually mean responsible. Just like assault weapon doesn't actually mean an assault weapon. It's just whatever they deem to be responsible, whatever they deem to be an assault weapon. So make no mistake about it. Be very clear. I'm going to use her words. Let's be clear, okay? Let's be very clear. Let's be clear that she wants to come into your locked home, plumage through your things, and take your guns. That's the goal. She said it over and over again. And when these commies show you who they are, you better believe them. Now, y'all can sit up here and play with this woman if you want to. She is very intentional and very radical on the things that she wants to do. In fact, the only right that Kamala wants to give you is the right to abortion. She doesn't believe in you actually having your God-given rights. She doesn't believe in you protecting yourself. She doesn't believe in free speech. She doesn't believe in any of our constitutional beliefs, okay, as Americans. She don't believe that. She just wants you to off your children and for the state to have all power over your lives. She is a dirty, filthy commie. And when she says her values have not changed, believe her, because they haven't. So that's our commie of the week. As I always say, whom the sun sets free is free indeed. So y'all go get yourselves some freedom. Please like this video, share this video, comment below on what you think of the feminism series. Do you have any personal stories that you'd like to share to add to this conversation? Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.